Perfect. So we are recording this session. All right. So like I said, welcome to the DA webinar series. My name is Olua Sheito. You can call me Shay or Sheito, whichever works, whichever one is fine. And like I said, today, Mr. Adeniyi will be taking us through how to build a successful services-based business. The quick agenda for today was to do a quick roundtable introduction, a virtual introduction. We'll have the session with Mr. Asha. And then we will do some questions and answers during the registration. Some people had put in some questions, so we'll take some questions from there. And if you also have some questions, please feel free to put them in the chat window as we go along, so that we can, we can answer them. And then lastly, we'll tell you how you can stay connected with Developing Africa and meet Mr. Asher. All right. Just a quick overview of what DA is about. DA is a non-profit organization. Our goal is to empower youth with entrepreneurial skills for free or at an highly discounted price. Like I said, my name is Sheito Awojabi. Currently have a full-time job and also the founder of Developing Africa. Alongside myself, I have a fantastic program manager here, Jennifer Eziozi, who manages most of the operational activities for DA. Jennifer, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Yeah, hello. Like she said, my name is Jennifer. That's all. Thank you.
Well, great to have every one of you. We have regular sessions every couple of days in the week on our platform. So here's the link to join. We'll put all of this in the chat window as well, so it's easy for you to click. Please stay connected by checking our website. We have fantastic volunteers who put out content often. Also follow us on social media, on Instagram. And of course, if you have any questions, you need anything really, send us an email to info@developafrica.org. Now, as we go along, as Mr. Asher is going to take over shortly, goes along in his sessions, you're probably going to learn something, hear something that sounds awesome that you want to share with your folks or share on social media. Please leverage the hashtags, hashtag Developing Africa with a K, or hashtag Skill Up Africa, or hashtag DA Webinar Series, either of these three, so that we can see that and we can repost it as needed. All right, so before we get started, does everyone in the chat window just tell us who you are, how you heard about us, what you're looking to learn today? Just put that in the chat window and we would love to celebrate you and love to acknowledge you. And while that is being done, let's talk a little bit about our awesome speaker, Mr. Asha. Mr. Asha is the co-founder of Giddy Jobs. He has a bachelor's degree in engineering from Obafemi Awolowo University, currently studying for his master's degree at the University of Liverpool in the UK. He's focused on the single mission of reducing unemployment, the unemployment rate across Africa, across the world, I believe, to a single unit by 2025. Please welcome Mr. Asha Adeniyi. And I could just stop sharing so you can take over. Is that okay? You're muted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Stop sharing now. Awesome. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheito and Jennifer, for inviting me. I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. So let me just go to my screen and can I see my slide?
Yes, I can see it now.
All right, so. Okay, is it on slideshow?
Yes, I can see building a services business in Nigeria, easy hires.
All right. So thank you for inviting me once again. So nice to speak with young people, especially young entrepreneurs in Nigeria trying to do great things. I know I've been there. I mean, and I'm still there. I'm still young, so I'm still part of us. And today is going to be a very short slide, so it's nothing voluminous. It's going to be very practical from my experience. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to be as frank and honest as much as possible. I'll be sharing my experience from building several businesses. At the moment, we have about 7 to 8 businesses in the group that we run. And it cut across, a lot of people know the recruitment part, but we are also growing a microfinance service firm, and then we're venturing into the fintech space sometimes this year. I'm not going to dwell on some issues, like leadership, like marketing, like management, because those are. So I'm not going to go into the core details of running a business. Do you get? I'm just going to try to highlight the areas where you probably might have issues, or the areas that are important for you to expand your business, and the things that you just need to know. Do you get? The things that you need to know to get to that place where you want to scale? Because when you start a business, you don't think about scaling first, you think about making it. I can't see the chat box. I will have asked you what people should just give an idea of what the essence of business is. What's the essence of a business? And it's important to know that the essence of a business is to remain in business. All right. The essence of a business is to remain in business. So all right. So can you give me like 2 seconds, please?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Sure. So let's answer. What is the essence of a business? I can see someone is typing. Let's see your answers in the chat window. Anyone, and you can also come off mute if you want to talk. Okay, many people are typing. I see. Nobody wants to come off mute.
Okay, do we have answers?
They're still typing. No, they're typing very awesome answers. I'm waiting to read it. All right, someone says to make profits.
Okay.
Waiting for more answers. Still waiting.
It's a bit to provide value. I was trying to type, but then I could not send my message.
Go ahead. To provide value, was that what you said?
Yes, that's what I
Good.
said.
Good point.
Yeah.
The essence of a business is to make profit and learn to take risk. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just go ahead and say when you're starting a business, the number one priority for you. Okay, let me wait for Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me wait for Daniel.
Type in, yes. All eyes are on you.
Daniel, we're waiting.
And Ayo as well. Okay.
So, I mean, wow, okay.
Just like Asha said, the essence of a business is to remain in business. I think the essence of a business is primarily for profits. There's no way you can sustain a business without that. Also, the essence of a business could be a way to promote value, like a culture or knowledge, wisdom, depth.
All right. So Yeah, so the essence of a business, the number one priority when you're starting a business is to remain in business. And there are things that will not allow you to remain in business. The first of it that is very common in Nigeria is lack of focus, where you've not properly created a structure and then you lose focus. That will certainly derail, the business. The second obvious reason is lack of cash. So when you don't have, when the money runs dry, when I was in school, when I was in university, we had a lot of speakers, that came and said, you don't need, all you need is an idea. The idea is your capital. Or, when you start a business, to remain in that business, you need capital, you need cash flow. So it's very important that you know that for you to be in business, you have to have the cash, because that's how you can remain competitive. You can read more about that. Some of the biggest businesses in the world have cash that, for instance, the first three companies in the world combined have cash reserves that is more than the entire GDP of Nigeria. So you want to think about why cash is important. And I'm not talking about their assets, I'm talking about cash in bank. So it's very important. It's very important that you note that. And that's the mindset I'll be speaking about today, just for you to understand that for you to build and grow a successful service business in Nigeria, it takes some of these foundational things. It takes some of this logic, just to run the business. All right. So, I mean, like you said, just a little bit about me. I had a background in engineering, and I had some short stints studying some courses that I felt passionate about at that time. And then in 2017, we were fortunate to get the Mandela Washington Award based on the work we did with Giddy Jobs. And through all the service business that we provided, that we do rather, we've consulted for both big and small-sized businesses in Nigeria. And our focus areas for providing these services have been in human resource and project management, and markets and sales operation. Today, I'm sharing a slide that has easy hires, and that's one of the that will be launched by the end of the month. So I just want everyone to be familiar with the name. I mean, there's something on Isaiah.com, but it was done early last year, so it's really not the thing. But we're going to launch something very good by the end of the month that we've been working on for a while. So just be familiar with the name. So the first thing I want to talk about in growing a successful service business is to ask yourself what the purpose of your business is. All right. What's the purpose of your business? Now, you have to be frank with yourself, because business is like a human being. It has a life of its own. Do you get? And when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is what is inevitable. So you're going to abuse what you don't know how to use. All right. So if you don't know that this business that I've set up is a temporary gig, do you get? I'm not trying to. So most people that I meet, every time they set up their business, they're setting up the business to become a big business. Not every business you set up is going to be a big business. You have to identify what you are really addressing at that time. So, for instance, a lot of people I've spoken to have cash flow issues, have capital issues. Do you understand? And this is because I'm talking about Nigeria. I can talk about this in another way if I'm talking to someone from Europe or North America. But this is because you're in Nigeria, where we are in Nigeria, rather, because I live in Lagos, Nigeria, where access to capital is not easy. Do you understand? So for the first few dollars that you need in your business, you probably have to get it from family and friends and from project that you do. So you want to first ask yourself that the purpose of my business now that business can become a big business later. But if you're starting small, if you're starting without huge capital, if you're starting without a huge opportunity, what you want to find out is, can this business maintain a constant cash flow for me? Now, if you begin to think about your service, because that was how I started. I started Giddy Jobs straight 2 years after I left university. And so that was 2 years after my first job, because fortunately I got a job from school. So I started Giddy Jobs, and it was tough. I started Giddy Jobs with 0 naira because one of my friends said, "Oh, Asher, I just came back from UK. Can you do this recruitment for me? Can you do this social media gig for me?" And I did it, and I earned 90,000. And that was how Giddy Jobs started, because the client referred other people, then this other person referred, and most of the jobs we did for the first 2 years were based on referrals. So, but I had to be very frank with myself, especially because I was a new entrepreneur, and I didn't really have maybe because I didn't have a lot of information available to me, but I was very, very focused on making sure that this business is able to sustain the cash flow that I needed to live a good life in Lagos, because I'm quite independent. My parents are not, I don't live with my parents, and so I needed to do that. And so the first thing you want to think about is, for a particular phase of your life, or for a particular phase of the business, what is its purpose? Now, you can now cross from the cash flow to building the business. All right. So we left that cash flow phase some months ago. We are now in the phase of building a business. And what building a business means is that you're creating systems for each department or for each unit of the business. That's how businesses can grow. So for a while, the business needs you to survive. But for you to grow a big business or a good business, all right? I mean, a good business, sustainable business, then you have to build systems for each unit of that business. What system? When you hear the word systems, it's nothing so fancy, it's nothing so technical. It just means that a system is something that runs without thinking. All right, a system is something that runs without thinking. So, for instance, what is the system for lead generation in your business? What is the system for customer management in your system? What is the system for sales? What is the system for financial reporting? All right. So as you begin to put structure into those things, that is when you start to build the business. So I don't. I want to. I want to talk to these two categories of people. The categories of people that are just starting up, or if you're struggling in your business, trying to maintain cash flow, you want to focus on that and make sure that your cash flow is steady, because the business will die when the cash flow stops. So you want to ensure that your cash flow doesn't stop, and you want to do everything possible for it not to stop. All right. So there are two purposes. The first is cash flow, maintaining cash flow, and the second is building a business. All right. So the first thing, of course, to talk about now is growing your service base, your service business. The first thing you want to talk about is who is your customer, who is your target. All right. I mean, you must have settled your product. But you see, let me give you an instance. There is a business that we're starting in partnership with another expert in Nigeria in digital marketing. And this business started because I thought to myself that I have used over 5 digital marketing agencies in the last 2 years. And I've been very annoyed at the end of the day with their service. All right. And I engaged someone newly in November, and I was also not happy with their service. So we came to the table and said, this is what we want. How can we achieve it? This is why these guys are not running their businesses well. And we started addressing the issues and set up a system that will, just offer that service to us. So we are going to be a client. One of the businesses we run is going to be, or two of the businesses will be clients to that particular businesses, and then we can offer it to the world. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is first understanding your audience. Now, before you understand your audience, you want to know what do they need. All right. So if you're going to talk to Asha about something, about a solution, about a product, about a service, are you sure Asha needs it? All right. Do you think you don't have to be 100% certain, because nobody is 100% certain. That's why you have above the line marketing. All right. You have billboards that talks to everybody, but you need to know. So let's say, for instance, we have 100 people in a room. So this is where your marketing, as a founder of the business, this is where your marketing cap comes in and say, this is the kind of person that needs my product. So if there are 100 people in the room and two people are of this kind, they will reach out to me. So it doesn't mean that 100 people are of the same kind. It just means that that kind is going to reach out to you. All right. So the first thing is understanding your audience, but it comes from the need analysis. All right. From the need analysis. So you got to do your need analysis. What do they need? How does my product or my solution, how does it solve a problem? How does it create an improvement? What is the improvement? All right. How is it better? How will the customer know that this is better? These are things that we know, but I'm emphasizing it because I don't want the usual culture of mediocrity that is prevalent in Nigeria to rub off on your business. All right. So you have to be very professional and excellent. I'm going to come to that. So in doing that, you need to analyze your needs. You need to know, what are my needs? All right. What are my needs? And how am I providing a good solutions, for my customers? So then you come to your sales funnel. I don't have a board here I could have drawn to you, but do you know the what's it called? The diagram of a funnel, right? So it comes straight down, but as it comes down, the width gets smaller, right? You know a funnel, so the width gets smaller. So it means that generating leads means generating customers that probably like your product, probably would be aware of your product and will check it out. They want to check out your website. They want to check out what you're doing. Do you get? So that's generating leads. And how can you generate leads? I mean, yesterday again, I was going through MailChimp's channel on YouTube, and I was just going through the videos late yesterday night, this morning. You can look at various digital marketing, and I'm going to give you some example, but MailChimp is one. You can generate leads from that. Of course, you got to have a website. Your website, you should have what's it called now, a feeder where people can drop their emails, and so you can reach out to them. You should have an easy feeder where people can ask you, what your product is, what's the pricing and all that. But you can start from where you are. So don't start thinking about, and that's one of the things I want to encourage us to do. You don't have to hire people when you're starting off. You don't have to start thinking about, oh, I need to hire this person. I need to hire this person. I need to get an office. I mean, you don't need to. This year, I'm not going to say anything. But we've made good money and we've been working from the house. We've been working from our home. So, I mean, I'm not even thinking about the office. I'm not even thinking about, oh, we need to get to an office and all that. you need as the leaders, and I think, Sheta, are we talking to CEOs here? Or?
We're talking to entrepreneurs, we're talking to people who have started their businesses and CEOs as well.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So I want to say, I was listening to a founder yesterday, and he was talking about this founder worked with Steve Jobs, and he also worked with Jack Dorsey, and he said these two leaders are very different. One is very creative and weird, while one is very playful and opened. And he said now he's an investor, he invests in businesses, and he says he understands that your temperament, whatever your temperament is, does not really define how great you will be as a leader. What makes you great are some essential ingredients, and that's why I'm telling this story. One of the essential ingredients of success, a successful leader, is that a successful leader drives results. So one of the things that you want to do for yourself as a person before you start hiring people is to ask yourself, what result am I generating? Now, it's very fantastic if you are generating enough results and you are not able to multiply that result because of your capacity as a man, as a human being, because there's a limit to what you can do, right? So it's very important, but you need to get to that level. And let me tell you this, if I'm going to speak in monetary terms, if you are not generating results in millions of naira, let me just say millions of naira as a leader, you don't need to hire anybody. First start generating. So, and that's why I like the quote by one of my very revered mentors, that do not be afraid to experiment. Do not be afraid to experiment. If you're doing something that is not generating money, please change it quickly. Bill Gates wrote a book years ago. He said, business at the speed of what? At the speed of thought. Said business at the speed of thought. That was the name of the book. So you must move your business at the speed of your thoughts. So your business moves at the speed of your thinking. So as a leader, you must drive what? Results. So if something is not working, you're not generating enough results, please go ahead, get into something else. I mean, I've had clients that have stopped using our service. I've had clients that stopped and came back, but I focus on what's generating results, and that requires new thinking. Like the sage said that a problem that is founded on a level of thinking will be solved on another level of thinking, something like that. So if you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created that problem. So you need to. I'm hearing some feedback.
I'm gonna mute that person.
Okay. So try and use digital marketing, social media to generate leads. You might have to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, but learn it. These are things you can learn on YouTube, just like a lot of people are learning how to travel to Canada on YouTube and all that. As an entrepreneur, you can also learn how to generate leads on YouTube, how to use Facebook. That it will amaze you the tons of education online. I was trying to register for a course, a digital marketing course in the University of Illinois. I've checked again. But I just found out that these guys don't really have what I want. So I said, okay, I'm going to go on YouTube. And then I went to YouTube. I saw fantastic materials. And so I saved it. I mean, YouTube has that capability. The only thing is, if you don't want ads, you just got to pay, I think, $10 per month. So, but it's fantastic. It's a good thing. We have these resources before us. So as entrepreneurs, let's learn how to generate leads. And then the second thing in your sales funnel, because like I said, As your leads come down, they depreciate. They shrink in numbers, not just in value. They shrink in numbers. So, but one of the things you have to do is to respond to your customer almost immediately. When your customer needs your attention, you got to respond to them immediately. And the last thing is, how do you manage your customers? All right. How do you manage your customers? I'm consulting for an NGO right now, and the leader at the top is a family member, but this is a multi-million naira business, and I know how much billables or how much we generate monthly from them. So in order not to lose that account, because you also must recognize that, especially for a good organization like that, decisions are not made in silos. Decisions are made in a collaborative manner. So for you to keep accounts that you have, and I'm talking to B2B now, for you to keep accounts that you have to develop very good and strong relationship with everyone in the organization across board. So there are some critical people you need to develop relationship with. So it's not just procurement that you're gonna talk to. Maybe you want to develop a relationship with the marketing manager. Maybe you want to develop the relationship with the information officer. Maybe it's even the receptionist. So you want to know who's gonna have your back, who's gonna provide you with information. I mean, for entrepreneurs, I also advise you to read The Art of War. It also gives you a mindset to how you can lead effectively, because business is war. And one of the key advantage in warfare is what? Is information. And that's why you have spies. All right. So I'm not saying that intentionally plant spies in your clients or your customers' office, but I'm just saying that you need allies. Do you understand? So you need to build relationship and sustain those accounts. All right. So the next slide talks about being professional, and you agree with me. This is the number one thing that is missing in service organizations or service businesses in Nigeria. Excellence is missing. I mean, somebody you said, oh, let's have a meeting. It's that simple. I mean, several times this year, let's have a meeting at 3, and someone is strolling in at 3:01. I mean, you are late. You are late. It's not I'm here, it's 3:01. No, you are late. So it's very important for you to be excellent. Keep to your word. If you can't make it at 3, say, oh, I will be 5 minutes late. I'll be 10 minutes late, and say it on time. Be very professional. Respect people's time. Also respect people generally, because you see, how seriously you take your work determines the next step. And like one of my mentors will say, in the little lies the great. So the way you treat 100,000 job, it reflects and will tell us how you will treat a 1 million naira job when you get used to getting 1 million naira. There will be a time when you get used to getting a 1 million naira job. Maybe you're now doing well in business. You now have, clients pay you 1 million naira monthly, several clients. And so it's the same way. Then you'll be chasing what, 10 million or 100 million, right? So it's the same way you treat that 100,000. That's how you will treat the 1 million naira when you become accustomed to it. So it's very important that, you see, I am a very frank person. I have my businesses, we have staff, and I'm very frank. And one of the things I know is that we have a lot of mediocre businesses in Nigeria. And that's one of the reasons why businesses are not growing, businesses don't have ambition, and businesses also treat their staff anyhow. One of the things that you want to do is that as you grow as an entrepreneur, your staff must be proud of you, regardless of the level of business, of the level of success that you've achieved. You don't have to have a 1 billion naira business before your staff start respecting you. You know, if your staff can't celebrate your birthday willingly, not that you are cool, you are pressuring them. Tomorrow is my birthday. Won't you do anything? Tomorrow, next week, won't you do anything for me? You won't do anything. I mean, no problems. No, they should be able to celebrate you willingly. They should be able to eulogize you willingly. They should be able to, acknowledge you willingly, and they should know that there is a difference, just working with you. And like I said, when it is not possible to keep to your words, let the client know on time. It's very important. It's very important. One of the um, and one of the great lessons I learned in 2019 is the importance of keeping to your word. There were I learned that because a lot of people made promises that they didn't keep. And there's nothing wrong with not keeping promises, but it's your attitude about it. Because everybody understands that you are human. You understand? Everybody understands that you are human, but it's just the attitude. It's just the attitude that you are considerate. You respect this other person. So it's very important that you're very professional. And of course, we can't bellyache and rest on dressing, about communication. I mean, there are some industries. If you're an auditor, for instance, if you're an auditor or you're in the finance and accounting business, you can't just dress anyhow. Yeah, you are. If you dress anyhow, it talks about how you manage the person's finance. If for instance you wear your tie and the knot is to the right or to the left, then it means that you are not detailed. Some things depict excellence. So you must be very, very your emails, your communication, written and oral communication, very important. Let me be fast and let me go to the next one. So as you grow, improve your vision. As you grow, improve your vision. As you make progress, strive to become better. Strive to become better. And this is also about analyzing opportunities that are available to you, understanding everything from distribution channels, your direct competitors, and even an analysis of all the markets, local and foreign markets, and other potential industries. And that's why I just told you. So in the last 2-3 years, we've just, our focus has been just two businesses, but now we're improving it into 7 and 8. So it's very important. It's very important that you improve your vision. As you make progress, become better. So see how you can create a structure. I was with one of my mentors in 2019. I couldn't travel to the US last year because of what happened. So I was with him in 2019. He's a founder of I'm trying to remember now, but his name is R.W. Nelson. We call him R.W. Nelson. He's a founder of a biotechnology firm in the US, and he's over 80 years old. I mean, he's over 80 years old, but he's a good. I mean, when you check him online, you know who he is. And he said he gave us a challenge that year. He said add 10 to your business. He said that's what they're doing. Now, this is a business that is already making billions of naira. I said billions of naira, billions of dollars yearly, with branches in Russia, Europe, and so he said what they're trying to do then is to add 10, and he showed me all the structure, the things that they're doing, and he gave us that challenge. So one of the things that you want to do is to be around people that inspire your vision, that improve your vision, become better. Ask yourself, and it's something I do something that I've done beginning of the year. How can I improve the vision that I have? The vision that you have right now will not be like the biggest vision that you ever have. So you have to. So as you make progress, don't just rest on your horns. Become better. And as entrepreneurs, when we get this big deal, we're excited. Man, we have signed with the state government, it's going to be huge. Don't rest on your arms. Improve the vision. What can this create? What's the better, opportunity? And like I said, build an email list. Like, don't be a victim of what? Don't be a victim of the cancel culture where you're supporting someone. I just find out that you're not online again. All right. So, but if you have an email list, your business will go on. It's very important. You now have, we for instance have thousands of, because of our business, you know that we have thousands of emails already. So it's important. You don't be so dependent on a digital platform. All right. Have your own email list and store. Don't just keep your your data in the cloud. If you can, I know it's not possible all the time. I'm a tech person, so I know that it's not possible all the time. But for some essentials, if you have an email list, for instance, for a growing business in Nigeria, even if you have 50 million email lists, you can keep that in your hard drive. Doesn't take a lot. So what I'm saying is that for essentials, because the customer is a business, right? The customer is a business. The people is a business. So how do you reach them? How do they sign up for your stuff? There will still be some. Look at Sheiton is in the US and you are in Texas, right? And Texas voted for Donald Trump. So he still has fans there. He has fans there, right? So yeah. So if he has a channel, a direct channels to all his fans, maybe emails, maybe Telegram, he's gonna keep on talking to them. Do you understand? He's going to keep on talking to them. He doesn't care about what is happening on Twitter. He doesn't care because, and I'm just saying that be very, very deliberate about building an email list. It helps your businesses to grow and it helps you to multiply. The other thing is form strategic partnerships. I think we are almost at the end of session. So form strategic partnerships. All right. And I gave an example here. One of the things, a lot of people meet me and they talk to me about fantastic ideas. Asher, we do this, we can provide this service to you. And I'll say, okay. Now, one of my mentors told me that if you are offering a service that solves a problem that is not someone's problem, you are offering a service that the person doesn't need. So if you are offering a service that solves my problem and I show an interest, the first thing you want to do, if I'm not so, what's it called now, if I'm not so enthusiastic about it, or if I'm delaying, what you want to do is to, okay, test it. And that's what we call freemium. Test it. So a lot of people come out to me and say they want to do social media management for me. A lot of people. This week alone, I've gotten just this week, 2 people have reached out to me. So, we can handle your social media, we can do your videos, and I'll say, oh yeah, that's nice. But the thing is, because of my experiences, I had bad experiences with, agencies and all that, and say, oh, we're different. In fact, someone told me 2 days ago, he said, we will never let you down. I said, wow, that's a word of caution. So the what I expect them to do is, if you are very confident about your service, offer it for free. For our hiring firm, for all our partners, they sign an agreement and we do the job for them. Of course, because we live in Nigeria where we have poor integrity, some people didn't pay. And so we didn't hire for them again. And that's why I tell my team, I said, no worries, don't fret. It just means that we won't do jobs for them again. So, and that's where your anchor comes in. When you are in business, you have to have an anchor so that you won't become a terrible entrepreneur. You can become terrible, you can become bad because of how the environment treats you. Do you get? But have an anchor, have set of values, personal values that drives your wealth, that drives your prosperity. I'm a Christian, so I have an anchor, and I know that nothing will really shake me. Even when things might go wrong, I don't get a deal. It's just temporal. you know. So it's very important to, like I said, form strategic partnerships, offer your service for free, use the Dropbox model. I've never forgotten this Dropbox model, because Dropbox told me when I was in school, when I was in university, that they were going to give me 500 MB free for every, what's it called? For every friend I recommend. Said they were going to give me 500 MB. And I recommended all my friends, followed up that I must eat 10 gig. I said, 10 gig online, free? You know, because we're used to 500 MB from Gmail. I think Yahoo was doing like 1 gig or so. So to just be giving 500 MB just to recommend someone, as I know, and this was about 10 or 11 years ago. So then I wrote audience impact here. And what that means is build strategic partnership that will help you reach your own audience. All right, build strategic partnership that will help you reach your audience. So if I'm trying to, when we're trying to grow our hiring business and we're trying to get a lot of people, you know, to come to our website, to sign up with job seekers. So I build strategic partnership with radio stations. I build strategic partnership with universities. All right, universities were used to, a lot of consultants will go to universities and say, oh, let your students pay, we'll come and train them. I said, no, don't worry, they don't need to pay. We are going to hire them. We are going to hire the best people from your university. Let them come for our training free of charge. And then, you know, we train them very well, bring qualified people, and then we fill our funnel. So it's very important that you form strategic partnership that will help you reach your audience directly. All right. And I think my last slide is about maximizing digital channels. All right, which I said before, but the focus here will be on improving your SEO. So when you get to that point, you might not start with this, and that's the truth. You don't need to start with this, because so when you're trying to start something, your first check should tell you what your focus should be on, what people are interested in. If anybody has not given you a check, forget about it. They don't believe in you. It means maybe the idea is not okay, blah, blah, blah. So your first check, your second check, your third check gives validity to the idea, you know, and money is important, you all know. So don't look at me and say, why is Asha talking about check? Idea is the best, blah, blah, blah. Not everybody is that lucky. I understand that ideas do work, especially when you look at the tech world, where you have a lot of accelerators that accelerate ideas, only ideas, you know. You have a lot of accelerators that says, oh, just drop your ideas. We're going to fund you to develop the idea. It's okay, but, you know, it doesn't exist. First, it doesn't exist in Nigeria. It doesn't exist in Nigeria. So the Nigerian businesses that have been privileged to that have been privileged to be accelerated from accelerators from the US especially, and I think Germany. So it's important that we are just very realistic, you know. So 99% of the time, you just got to do what you have to do. And as you do it, people recognize you. And the funny thing, I'm closing with this particular slide because of time. The funny thing is that people will respect you when you start getting results. So the people that said, is this person really good? Is this company good? Then they'll start asking, and it has happened to me before. The people that I've used their service before, but somebody else used their service, another person used their service, the third person used their service. So I went back to use their service because somebody else is using their service. It happened, I mean, eventually for 2 of those companies, I canceled subscriptions. You know, I stopped using them, you know, but because I was burnt twice, you know, so said, no, I'm okay. Whatever it is, I'm not going to use their service again. So it's important, but just imagine I went back and these guys didn't track that I came back to use their service. So it's important. But that's on a higher level. And that's when you start maximizing your digital channels, you know. But as a small business, for instance, you must know at least when your customer comes back to use you. And you have to be grateful for that and make sure that they continue using you. All right. So that's short for now. I mean, there are a lot of things that we have to know as service-based businesses in Nigeria, but I'll stop here for now. If you have questions, please feel free.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Adeniyi or Asha. Thank you so much for the session today. I had my notes is very, very, very full. I'm going to be sharing them after the call, but I'm just going to go ahead and share. If you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat window and we will take them. But while we wait for those questions, I would also like us to take, I'll share my screen now. I'd like us to take the questions that people had asked before. And I'm sharing my screen in a few seconds. All right, screen 3. Perfect. All right, please let me know when you can all see my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so the first question is, how can I sustain an existing business and how do I get customers? And I think you already touched on that, so I will go to the next question. How do you deal with an industry, with pricing in an industry where the customers are majorly students and core members?
Okay, this is interesting, and the first thing I would say is, does everybody know Paystack here?
I do.
So Paystack sold their business, right?
Mm-hmm.
For $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, the people that know Paystack, is what's the maximum amount that Paystack earns on each transaction? I know it's 2,500. That's the maximum amount they earn on each transaction that goes on there. As at, I think, August or September, the revenue was over $100 million monthly as at August last year. The transaction they processed, the transaction they processed was over $100 million. So monthly. So if you have an idea for students and club members, pricing is an issue. There's nothing you can do about it. Pricing is an issue. The only thing you can do is to play with numbers. All right. So you can play with the number of the students and the core members that you can get. All right. And automate your process. If you can automate, whatever you can automate. Whatever you can automate, that means that whatever can be done with a machine, whatever the machine, the phone, for instance, whatever can be done with a phone, with the internet, please do it. If people can register online, people can take courses online, people can, if for instance, if it's a course, people can take 3 weeks online and come and do 1 day at a particular center. They don't have to do everything, So if you want to still create that human touch, you can say, okay, do 3 days online, 2 days physical every week. Just think about how you can reach more people, how you can automate your process. Pricing is an issue. You can't play around that. The other thing is, another suggestion could be, do you want to play with data? Do you understand? So do you want to offer it for free and have the data over 10 years, over 5 years, over 2 years? Because that data is worth a huge amount of money. Do you understand? That's how Facebook started. I mean, Facebook is not going to charge my mom. My mom does not even know how to pay for anything online, but she's on Facebook. So if you are charging her $1 to be on Facebook, she's not going to pay. She's not interested. Do you understand? Same thing with WhatsApp. So there are some things that you just have to do. You just have to do. So it takes your imagination and creativity as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are creative. Entrepreneurs are imaginative. They always think about a crazy process and nothing hinders them. When they take risk, people wonder, is this guy normal? But that's just an entrepreneur. The way you would think about solving this problem that you've written down, I mean, it's not going to be normal. All right. So just go ahead and do what you need to do. But The key thing is get your numbers right in terms of your customer numbers. So school, students, and know that there are already a lot of competitive products. In school, the number one competitive thing is food. That's it, straight up. The number one competitive thing with whatever you have to offer is food. So people are still wondering how they will eat, and you want to charge them 2.5. They will just beg, I need to eat first, and then they start thinking about cost materials, how to photocopy, and all that. And for some little percentage is about their fees, So you have to also watch that. So I mean, and the same thing with core members that they're dealing with accommodation, they are dealing with food. So accommodation. So you have to look at what your competitor is at that level. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll take 2 more questions just to be mindful of time. What happens when a person has the necessary skills to start a business but is not financially ready?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. One thing I learned last year is to be very patient. I mean, we lost millions of naira last year trying to do something that we shouldn't have done. And at a point, I was very angry, and I just got to that point where, like I said, I have a strong anchor. So we just went back to that anchor and tried to just rest and think through whatever we're going through. And I got to that point where just be patient, be calm. You don't have to. If you start now, doesn't mean that you will win now. Do you get? If you start now, doesn't mean that you will make it now. So it's okay. Follow the process. So if you don't have, and what I've advised my friends and people that I've spoken with, I speak with, is what will you do to be financially stable? Because that is necessary. What must you do that will put food on your table? What must you do that will put shelter over you? Just do that. Some people were privileged. For instance, I told you my story where I started to, but I was privileged because I had a place to stay. I didn't have to worry about certain things. So it's the same thing with you. So if you're not financially ready, but also you don't need a huge amount of money to start a business. You understand? You don't need a huge amount of. So you also have to know that you don't need an office. All right. I was advising my wife last year about she got a contract to do something, and I said just hire somebody that you pay 30,000 naira or 40,000 naira. This person just needs to come to work once a week, and the person is not coming to the office. The person is just going to meet your client, to check the facility, to make sure that things are all right. So sometimes it just takes creativity. It just takes an entrepreneur. Do you get? So just look for a way out. You don't have to start big. Please, everyone, learn to start small and then think big.
I like that. Start small and think big and leverage what you already have.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the last question, again, to be mindful of time. Thank you for those who are joining in as we're going. The last question is, how can I be a bold business person? I know a lot of people have imposter syndrome. A lot of people are scared to, just go for it or do it afraid. What would be your number one tip to build that confidence in business and to just thrive in business?
To be frank with you, there are 2 tips. To be very frank with you. And the reason why I'm saying to be frank with you is because it's personal to everyone. The first one is, let me say the easier part. The easier part is that you have to be knowledgeable. You have to know about the art of business, and you have to know about your business. Do you understand? Nobody should be teaching you about your business. So if you're in the dry cleaning business, I am not. I shouldn't be teaching you about dry cleaning or laundry. I shouldn't. You should know everything. You should know your competitor. You should know why your competitors are winning. You should know why you are losing. You should know why you should win a particular area. You must know everything about your business. If you don't have to start knowing, because nobody was born knowing. That's where some people have issues and then they become depressed. Excuse me. Go and find out. Write the list of things you need to know about your business. Write the things you need to know about how to run a business. Write it down. These are the things I need to know. I need to know how to manage finance. I need to know how to put structure to finance that comes in. I need to know how to grow my business. Write it down and then go and find out. When you hear something else that you need to know that you don't know, don't feel bad. You are human. That's how I operate. I don't feel it's because it's very factual. Just go and find out and come back. You will know. Then the second thing is about being bold is be prayerful, right? Just pray, whatever faith you have, just pray. Make sure that you have an assurance in your heart that this is right. Because I tell you, there is no way things will always go right. There's no way. I mean, when a year after we started getting jobs, I read the story of Femi Otedola. We just made news some weeks or some months ago. Years ago, he lost all his over 100 apartments in Victoria Island. Over 100. It remained 2 apartments. Do you understand? Which loss have you experienced that is up to down? Do you get? So he sold all his properties in Nigeria because he was owing over $1 billion or so, or some ridiculous amount of money because of the 2008 market crisis.
Mm-hmm.
But it bounced back. Has it not bounced back? So a lot of business is not like, oh, it will go up. Yeah, well, no, business is like the stock market. Go up, down, go up, down, go up, down, go up, down. So you have to remain calm and go for what you want. Do you get? So be rest assured, things are going to go well. Remain prayerful and remain knowledgeable. Sorry, Shaitan. The last thing is knowledge, and this is where please and please. That's why I say remain prayerful. Knowledge puffs up. Knowledge makes you proud. If you think you know, you will know. You will think you know, you will know. So I just want to beg you that as you read, I was fortunate to be around a leader very young and that's why I read, but the business world will show you that you have to be humble and you have to remain calm. You have to remain calm. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Asher, Mr. Adeniyi. Really, really do appreciate your time. And I appreciate you sharing all this wonderful nuggets. Like I said, my notes is very full, and I look forward to sharing it with everybody after the call. I'm going to stop recording now, just so you know, this session we will post it on our YouTube channel. You're going to have the link as well. We're going to send out an email also after the session so you can have access to it. So I'm going to stop recording. Are there any questions from the audience that you would like us to address as well?